the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't.
So I want to talk about Donald Trump's other case.
Ken Cuccinelli, top official at the Department of Homeland Security. Chad Wolf, who I believe at the time was his boss at the Department of Homeland Security, testifying to a federal grand jury about being involved in meetings where Trump wants to seize voting machines.
Because, you know, there's a real case happening to him at the federal level.
They had conversations directly with Trump himself and said, look, DHS, the military, they don't have the authority to seize voting machines. And they had to repeat that message not just to Trump, but to his lawyers, to various allies within the administration and within the White House.
Republicans can whine all they want about the state of New York. That's not what Donald Trump's afraid of. Don't believe me? Check out his speech after his indictment.
Our elections were like those of a third world country. And now this massive election interference at a scale never seen before in our country.
The fact that Trump himself was asking whether or not the federal government could seize voting machines is really one of the first details that we're learning about this closed-door testimony.
He didn't talk about the indictment hardly at all. He damn sure talked about this.
This lunatic special prosecutor named Jack Smith, I wonder what it was prior to a change, who others of his ilk say he's even worse than they are.
Two tracks to the Jack Smith investigation. One is about the classified documents. This is about trying to steal the election, trying to overturn the election, obstruct the government.
Donald Trump's own Homeland Security Secretary. Oh, Chad Wolf. A name that got him the job, you know it did. Chad Wolf himself has testified. And Cicilline, who also testified to the same, that Donald Trump was told it was illegal for him to seize voting machines.
The witnesses have gone in, Cuccinelli and Chad Wolf have gone in and talked about how they told Trump and Rudy Giuliani, who was obviously Trump's lawyer at the time, that DHS couldn't seize voting machines. But then Robert O'Brien, who was Trump's national security advisor at the time, has gone in and talked to prosecutors about a meeting that took place days after Cuccinelli and Wolf warned Trump, where the idea of seizing voting machines came up again.
He was told that the federal government does not have the authority to seize voting machines. And yet he still tried to make it happen.
Then you have a radical left lunatic known as a bomb thrower who is harassing hundreds of my people day after day over the boxes hoax. You know, the boxes hoax.
He still asked the damn Pentagon to start seizing voting machines.
Everything in a criminal case comes down to intent, and when you are advised of something that you're not allowed to do, that speaks to your intent to do that thing. There are two possible crimes: conspiracy to defraud the United States, which you know he's investigating, and maybe false statements made regarding some of this material. And that kind of information would touch on that directly.
Tried to get states to have their National Guard do it, when that didn't work.
It's an insult to our country as the world is already laughing at us.
This is where the coup happened. Yeah, a bunch of guys ransacked the building, and they're gonna fucking hang for it. Fuck them. But the coup was in the paperwork.
The most embarrassing time in our country's history, in my opinion.
The coup was about 2 miles away on the hill where the big white house is. And they tried to get it done.
Let's look at that. This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, and it should be dropped immediately.
This entire case hinges on Donald Trump's intent. And his intent was to throw an election that he knew that he lost. And we can prove it.
And in the wings, they've got a local racist Democrat district attorney in Atlanta who is doing everything in her power to indict me over an absolutely perfect phone call, even more perfect than the one I made with the president of Ukraine. Remember, I kept saying that's a perfect call. This one was more perfect.
They can bitch all they want about Georgia.
Nobody said, sir, you shouldn't say that. Many people were hung up in disgust because of something I inappropriately said. Because nothing was said wrong.
They can bitch all they want about whatever the fuck's going on in New York.
Beginning with the radical left, George Soros-backed prosecutor Alvin Bragg of New York.
That shit is minor. Yeah, New York's gonna put him in jail. Maybe. For crimes in New York.
The next thing I know, we were raided by many gun-toting FBI agents who took whatever they wanted, including my passports and medical records. Everybody was in shock. Nobody had ever heard of such a raid before. Can't even believe it. Who would think that that could happen to them? I immediately thought of the Fourth Amendment that protects against unreasonable search and seizure. But they did it anyway because our justice system has become lawless.
Because we're still missing some documents. And apparently he showed people a document that showed how to cheaply make a nuclear bomb? That's a weird thing to show people? Okay.
This is about making him the victim, that he's standing up for his people, and it's all about, you know, the him being persecuted.
But trying to steal the election? The motherfucker is gonna go to a federal prison. And if he does not, all this bluster about the shining city on the hill, that American excellence, American jurisprudence the best in the world, all that'll be out the window if we don't prosecute this guy. And I don't mean a slap on the wrist.
It's right out of the old Soviet Union. That's where we are.
We need to treat him like a damn heretic.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Now, this isn't 1560, so we can't burn him at the stake.
He claimed again 2020 election fraud. He went after Hunter Biden. He claimed Biden obstructed the classified documents probe into him. He went after the Fulton County District Attorney. He went after the special counsel Jack Smith. He went after the judge in the Manhattan case. He went after the prosecutor in the case. The chaos is what Republicans worry about.
And he did that with his grievance-filled, rambling, lie-filled speech that he gave last night.
And they're looking at me through the Espionage Act. Think of that. How does that sound? Of 1917, where the penalty is death.
Imagine a world, this is not me talking, this is several Republicans sending me unsolicited texts like you, in which he got up there and he said, this is a tough day for me, a tough day for my family, I'm innocent, we're gonna keep fighting, see you later. And not what he did.
Right. What he did was put out a fake mugshot to raise money off it.
As president, I have the right to declassify documents. And the process is automatic. If I take them with me, it's automatic. Declassify.
About how complicated and unsure the ramifications of this are is the sound of silence from Democrats.
Right.
Said anything. That tells you a lot. They want to stay away from this.
And that Biden hasn't declared he's running again yet. I mean, why would you though?
Right.
If you have all of this turmoil going on.
Investigation by another racist in reverse. Her name is Letitia James. This is a persecution, not an investigation. She's put our family through hell.
I'm thinking Fort Leavenworth for the rest of his fucking life.
The criminal is the district attorney because he illegally leaked massive amounts of grand jury. We have this Jack Smith lunatic threatening people. And we have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife.
I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Come on, one can dream, can't he? Y'all take it easy.
Our chief weapon is surprise. Surprise and fear. Fear and surprise. Our two weapons are fear and surprise and ruthless efficiency. Our three weapons are fear and surprise and ruthless efficiency and an almost fanatical devotion to the Pope. Our four. No.